Hi, so let's talk. Alright, so as you can see by the title, I fainted in McDonald's yesterday. I don't know what happened. Alright, so let's start from the beginning. Ever since I got back to Japan, I haven't been feeling well. I've been feeling super tired and I don't know what's going on. And I just assumed, oh, it's just the heat. But no, I kind of had a feeling maybe it was my anemia, because I am anemic. I do suffer from anemia, which is when you have low red blood cells, and you need red blood cells to carry oxygen around the body. So because of a pre-existing condition, I kind of have anemia. So I figured it was that, plus the combination of the humidity here in Japan, which is, it sucks in the summertime. If you've ever been in Japan in the summertime, you know how much the humidity sucks, how much the heat sucks. And yeah, so I haven't been feeling well, and I had vacation, like time off from both my full-time and part-time job. I had time off for like 5 days. So I spent the entire time in my house, just feeling dizzy when I stood up for too long, and I didn't want to leave because it's too hot, and I don't like to go anywhere when it's too hot. But flash forward to yesterday, I decided I was suffering from cabin fever. You know cabin fever, when you've just been stuck in one spot and you're like, I need to get out of here. So I was like, I need to get out of here. So I decided, okay, let me ride my bike and go to the beach, which I live close to. It's about a 35-minute bike ride. A bike ride I don't really like to do in the summer because, like I said, Japan gets super hot in the summer. The UV intensity is way too much. But I said, no, let me go and get out of the house and get a nice tan and look cute on the beach. So I set out, because I checked the temperature and the UV number to see how intense the UV rays were for the day. I made sure to drink a lot of water before I left. And also when I was washing the dishes in the morning, I felt dizzy as usual. So I said, okay, let me drink water. So I drank water at that point, and before I left, I drank water too. So I probably drank about three bottles of water before I left. And I made sure to carry a bottle of water because this is a tip that I gave in my How to Survive Summer in Japan video, which was to always walk with water. Always have water on you. Pocari Sweat is really good. So I set out, and it was really hot. I had my visor on, which is kind of like a hat thing, but I think that was doing probably more harm than good because it's one of the Daiso UV protection visors, but I don't think it works. I think it just traps the heat. But I was riding along, I wasn't feeling bad, and because McDonald's is halfway between the beach and where I live, I decided to stop in McDonald's and get lunch that I could carry to the beach. And there was a long line in McDonald's to order, and when I was standing there, I had to sit down for a while because I was like, ooh, it's hot. So I was standing in the line for about 15 minutes, and again, like I said before, for the past 5 days, when I'm standing, I feel dizzy. Standing for too long, I feel dizzy. So I was standing in line, finally came up to my chance, and that's when it started to kick in. I was like, ooh, what's going on here? So you know when you're about to faint and the world just starts to come in and come out, that was happening to me as I was ordering. Because when you go to McDonald's in Japan or anywhere to order food, they just ask you a bunch of questions. They're like, you want this, you want this, you want this, anything else? And I was just like, this. Okay, give me my food quick before I die. And as I paid, this is the last thing I remembered. As I paid the cashier, I got my money back, and then the world went blank. Now, from what I remember, or from what I think, I fell on the ground, and the people behind me helped me up, and I hit my head, and then I got back up and put my head on the counter. But that's not clear to me. I'm not sure. But what I do remember for sure is that my head was on the counter. And my head was like on the counter. I was like, ugh. And the poor cashier, she was like trying to smile on the face. Hi, because she's like freaking out, of course, because the foreigner went and fainted in McDonald's. And so I just looked at her when I got some what do you call it, consciousness. I looked at her and I said, I just looked around, looked for where there was an empty table, and I pointed there and I told her, I'm gonna go there. So I took my stuff and I just quickly went there before I fainted again. So I'm not sure if I fell on the ground and if people did help me up. That, I don't know if that's in my mind, but I woke up this morning and the back of my head, like right here, I do feel something like a cocoa. In Jamaica, that's what, like when you get a bump on your head, we call it a cocoa. So I feel a cocoa in my head. So I'm thinking maybe I did fall down. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But anyways, fast forward. I get to the seat and I have my head down. I'm sweating buckets, by the way. I'm just sweating. And I'm dizzy. I'm not nauseous, but I'm panicking. I'm freaking out because I don't want to pass out again in McDonald's. And the worst part was I'm in my city. So my students they live in the city, or their parents might see me. So I didn't want to make a big commotion because it would get back to my school and then they would freak out. They would panic. They'd be like, they'd think I was dying or something. So I didn't want there to be much attention drawn to me and panic and everything. So after that, I got the poor girl, the cashier. She brings me my food. She's like, here you go, enjoy. And I was like, thank you. I'm about to die. And I was panicking. I was really panicking because I didn't know what to do. You know when your head just isn't thinking clearly. So I drink some of the Coca-Cola that I ordered. I eat some of the fries. I was like, maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I just need to get cool on my body with the Coca-Cola. And that helped a little. I called a few of my friends and I asked them what to do. One of them was like, call the ambulance to come pick you up. I was like, no, that's going to cause a commotion. And they were like, okay, where's the nearest hospital or clinic? And the nearest one was closed. So I saw the city one in Kainan. So I was like, okay. But it was a 10-minute bike ride away. So I waited until I was absolutely sure I could make it before I left McDonald's, because I didn't want to be riding my bike on the road and fall over and die. So after that, I packed up my things and I left McDonald's, very embarrassed because it's just, you don't want to be the gaijin, you don't want to be the foreigner who faints anywhere in Japan because they're like, is she drunk? And I wasn't drunk, I was sick. But anyways, so I make my way slowly but surely to the clinic in the city central, and I was just so relieved that I made it there without fainting, that just, I was overcome with emotion. So I started crying. I was weeping. I was just like, because I go inside and the security guard is asking me, how can I help you? And I'm just crying. And he's like, oh no, okay, so crying foreigner, crying gaijin. So he carries me to the receptionist area, and I'm trying to explain to them what's wrong, and they're like, ugh. And I'm just like, wakarimasen, I don't understand. Ni hongo, wakarimasen. And then they quickly go back and they call in the English help person, someone who knows like basic English to help. Very nice. Like everyone at the clinic was very nice. I think if you're going to be sick in any country, foreign country where no one speaks English, Japan's a great place to be sick, because they took care of me at that clinic. I was so happy. So he comes and well, while I'm crying, they're like processing my card, because you can't go into the clinic unless you have a card for it. So they took my health insurance and they just quickly made up a card for me to use in the clinic. Not a membership card, but a clinic card. I have like 3 now for the various clinics I've gone to. So he takes my symptoms and then he calls for help, and then 2 amazing, lovely, sweet, I love them, nurses came, and they were like a tag team of happiness to help you. And they took my blood pressure, which I think they said was normal, and they took my temperature. I had a fever. I had a slight fever. I don't know how that happened. They're like, fever? I was like, Huh? Okay, that must have been from the heat and riding the bicycle. So after they took my basics, they took me to the doctor, and the doctor again was so sweet. She's like, English, not much, but try. And I was like, you're so sweet, and I'm still crying because I'm still freaking out. I don't know what's wrong with me. And she asked me a few questions, and she came to the conclusion that maybe I was dehydrated, which I'm just like, I drank 3 bottles of water, plus I was drinking a 4th bottle of water on my way. How can I be dehydrated? It's so frustrating. It's like, I drink all this water in the summer in Japan. I'm peeing all the time, but I'm still dehydrated. So she was like, I think you're dehydrated, and she hooked me up to an IV. It was the first time I was hooked up to an IV, and those needles are big, and it hurt. It still hurts. It still hurts. I'm a big baby. I don't like needles. I don't like pain. So I was on the IV, hooked up to the IV for about 2 hours, and I was in the room just laying down and drifting in and out of sleep. And they took really good care of me. They kept asking me if I'm okay, Daijobu, and I said yes. They asked me Samui if I'm cold, and I said no. And they also took blood. They also took blood from me to test if there was anything else wrong. And so after the IV finished, the doctor came with the results, and she said everything else seems fine, but I had moderate anemia, which I expected. I did expect that. And I was like, okay. And so she says I have to take iron pills. Now I know I have this pre-existing condition with the anemia, and I know I'm supposed to take the iron pills, but iron pills have this weird side effect. You can Google it if you want, but I'm not going to say it on camera, and I don't like it. There's several side effects, so I hate taking iron pills, but I've come to the point where I need them because I can't deal with the anemia symptoms. I can't deal with the tiredness and the listlessness. I can't deal with that anymore. I need my strength. So yeah. So I was like, okay. And she said take the iron pills with vitamin C. I asked my mommy, and because I told my parents after, and they were like, what? So I asked my mommy, and she said maybe the vitamin C is to absorb the iron pills. So that was it. I was dehydrated. I got the IV. I don't want to faint again ever again in public. I have to stay hydrated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drink a combination of water all the time and not sports drink, but they have this thing called Pocari Sweat or Aqua Sport or something like that, and they have electrolytes in them, so if you're working out they put water back in you quickly. So I'm going to keep drinking a combination of that, and also take the damn iron pills and try and be better. But yeah, I mean, it was very scary. I mean, very, very scary, because you can't communicate exactly what's wrong with you, and you think people won't understand to try and help you, but in the end it really worked out, and now I know where I can go for quick medical care. I must say that because it was an emergency, I didn't even have enough cash to pay, and they were like, okay, come back tomorrow and pay. I was like, come back tomorrow? I can leave? You're okay with that? And they're like, yes. And I just had to sign up a form. And my company, in cases of emergency, they give us this paper that we're supposed to bring to hospitals and show the translations for things, which was very nice of the company. But in an event like that, where it was just randomly, I just got sick in the moment, it wasn't helpful. But at least I had that other option. So now I know if I'm sick again at home or something, I can grab that paper and I know exactly where to go, because I have the card now, and that's my new mid-size hospital. It's not really a hospital, it's like a private hospital clinic. So now I know where to go, and I have my little card. So yeah, that was it. And I hope there are no videos of me online fainting in McDonald's in Japan. If it were Jamaica, there would be videos. If it were America, I'm sure there would be videos. Europe, you know, but hopefully Japanese people are nicer than that to record a moment of embarrassment. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, it's a long story. I fainted in McDonald's. Till next time. Bye.